Hi guys, I'm just making sure that I've told everyone. Let's have a look. How's everyone going? It's Louis in the UK. I've just had a doner kebab. Do any of you know what a doner kebab is? It's basically loads of meat made from lamb. I think there was some chicken in there as well. Okay. Right. Let's see who we got. Helen. Colleen. Stacy. So I want to carry on part 2 of girlfriends. So I'm going to play something someone sent me, but I'm also going to play some other things. So it's Defending Elvis Presley, Fans Want the Truth. So if you're new to this channel, Defending Elvis Presley, Fans Want the Truth. And to go onto the Facebook, it's Defending Elvis Presley, Louis Daily Live Streams. Defending Elvis Presley, Louis Daily Live Streams on the Facebook. So it's important you guys get on the Facebook, because that's how we message each other. Hi Vibex. Our newest member is Vibex. Vibex, thank you so much for becoming a member. Very kind of you. It does mean a lot to me. I actually had someone tell me off today on the messaging. I was told off that I want members. So she went, "Why do you keep asking people to be members? I unsubscribe." Well, I want members, guys. I just do. Right. Who we got? Eileen. We got, I don't do Facebook. Michdan. If you do Facebook, then we can talk to each other whilst we're not on live streams. You don't have to post loads of stuff. All you do, you get your Facebook going. You don't have to have it. You can have it set as private so no one else can see you. But at least then we can message. We can let each other know when we do the live streams. You can go on to our Defending Elvis Presley, Louis Daily Live Streams, and you can post pictures and videos and information and research. I think the Facebook's a really good thing. Guys, are you enjoying the Facebook? We've got, let's have a look. Let me see how it's going. I'm actually surprised it's done all right, actually. 116 members. That's pretty good. Now, the one that went wrong only had 91 members. So we've already beat that. Yes. Yeah, come on, the Facebook. I actually am surprised how good the Facebook is. Let's have a look. Hi. So we've got Lorna. We've got Tracy. Yeah, the Facebook's good, guys. Oh, I understand, but I'm just saying it that you can set it all as private, and then everything's fine. So we've got Lorna. Hi, Lorna. Who else we got on? Helen, Colleen, Lorna, Tracy, Jane, Stacy, Michdan, Sue, Helen, Eileen, Stacy. Hi, everyone. And there's more watching. So please subscribe, guys. Only 78% of you subscribe. And please become a member. Join up. We like it when you join up. So one of the particular subscribers said to me, "I don't have £1. Why do you keep asking? I unsubscribe." Come on, guys. It's £1. It's £1. It doesn't make me a greedy person or a not nice person. I want members. I want to do some one-to-one, some live streams for the members. I want to do that. But I also want to do, remember, I'm doing 3 or 4 live streams a day. So if I do one of them for the members, it's okay, because I'm doing 3 or 4 a day. And we're all fans here. We've all got the same interest. We just want to come together regularly and defend Elvis Presley. So let's have a look. Okay, so someone sent me a message. I'm going to, by the way, we're doing part 2 of Girlfriends, and I'm going to do some Priscilla ones, because I don't think you can do Elvis Girlfriends without doing Priscilla. I just don't think we can do it. So we're going to have to do it, guys. Yes, Stacy, we learned as we go, don't we? I tell you what, the amount of mistakes I make. Hi, Diana. the amount of mistakes I make. I get a lot of things wrong. People put me right. I get a lot of messages, people saying, you should say this, you should say that, change this, change that. I'm learning. I want the advice. Keep it coming. Right, so she sent me the link on email. Let me just say her name.
Every day.
Let's have a look if I can find the email. Her name is Carol Hayat. Is Carol on here? Carol, are you on here? Right, did you guys know that Elvis once hired Johnny Cash and his backing guys to open for him in some of his shows? Just saw it on YouTube. Johnny and June Cash on the Carson Show. Who knew? Great. And do you know what? We can do a Johnny Cash and Elvis live stream one day. Let's have a look. I didn't know that, Tracy. Right, wow. I like Johnny Cash. I think he's interesting. I think he had his own style. He was a gifted man. He had a very interesting life, didn't he? And he loved Elvis. Lorna, I understand that you don't like Facebook, but you can do it and set it all private. Private, so no one else can see you. And then just link to our channel so we can all message each other. Yeah? Right, yes. I thought it was quite interesting that he gave giving credit to Elvis for helping him get gigs. Yeah. Come on, we like Johnny Cash. Should we try and find a little... So you know what? Now you've mentioned Johnny Cash, guys. Let's see if there's a thing where Johnny Cash talks about Elvis. We may as well. I know we're on Girlfriends tonight, but we can listen. I can listen to your comments and try and change the storyline. Right. Just a little taster first.
This Priscilla Presley interview from the 1970s.
I guess most young ladies around the world would think about your marriage as being a kind of storybook, fantasy type marriage.
And the interviewer is Elliot Mintz.
Oops, sorry.
Anyway, let's keep listening.
What was it like, really, to have been married to Elvis Presley?
The only thing that was hard was the fact that he was gone most of the time, and only because of his business, which, of course, you know, he has to do that, too, to make a living.
Let's keep listening.
You go out and go to nightclubs and dance. Was it mainly staying home?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We had our own particular people that we had get-togethers with or whatever, and we kind of had them over every night, and it was like that most of the time. They're still with him, and it's pretty much the same, really, as it was when we were married.
Well, that's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.
And I remember... Oh, I'm going to play that again, guys. I remember this is the earliest interview I have seen ever with Priscilla, ever. And a very rare interview, a very short interview. I don't know who the guy is. And she looks so fresh-faced. She looks very young there. You know, she barely 20, I would say. Has any of you, do any of you, have any of you ever seen this interview before?
Just at home chilling out. And I've come across this Priscilla Presley interview from the 1970s.
I guess most young ladies around the world would think about your marriage as being a kind of storybook, fantasy type marriage.
And the interviewer is Elliot Mintz. Anyway, let's keep listening.
What was it like, really, to have been married to Elvis Presley?
The only thing that was hard was the fact that he was gone most of the time, and only because of his business, which, of course, you know, he has to do that, too, to make a living.
Let's keep listening.
You go out and go to nightclubs and dance. Was it mainly staying home?
Yes. Mm-hmm. We had our own particular people that we had get-togethers with or whatever, and we kind of had them over every night, and it was like that most of the time. They're still with him, and it's pretty much the same, really, as it was when we were married.
Well, that's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Hi, right, let's pause that. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Eileen. I tell you, that was a very rare interview. I stumbled on it by mistake. And I don't think even now, if I tried to find it, I would find it again. And it really surprised me. She looks so different and so young. Her hair is much lighter. Her face, hardly any makeup. I would say this was just after the divorce, I would say. I would say this is 73, the earliest interview I've ever seen. Yeah, Tracy, I think you're right. Right, look, let's have a look. I've done quite a few Priscilla interviews. Short videos. I'm going to play them to you. Now, there's 3 on. I want to play these 3. I do want to quickly do a clip of Johnny Cash, but the thing is, I don't want to lose these interviews. They're less than a minute long. So remember, we're doing girlfriends, okay, guys? I'll play these 2. Then I'm going to play you the clip that was sent to me by, I think it was it Carol? Right, let's just play it.
Priscilla runs Elvis Presley Enterprises from Los Angeles. Surprisingly, her office contains no mementos of her life with Elvis. In fact, no hint of Elvis at all.
It gets in the way. It gets in the way of who I am.
She has a new life with 6-year-old son Navarone and his father, Marco Garibaldi.
I have to take in consideration their feelings. I have a son who's 6 years old. I don't want him coming into my office and seeing pictures of my past.
So I remember when I made that clip, and that is the Priscilla that we are upset with. She won't put his pictures in her office. The fact that she used to be with Elvis is a problem. She's with Navarone she's with Marco Garibaldi Garcia, whatever they call him. And at that point, Navarone was 6. So it's a very, very short clip. But that is the Priscilla we remember. The Priscilla that wasn't saying very kind things about Elvis, was trying to act like Elvis was, how can I say it, something to forget about, other than the running of the business, Graceland. Obviously, she was the trustee on behalf of Graceland, Lisa Marie. I'll play that again. You listen to the things that she says, guys, and then please comment. They're not very kind to Elvis.
Priscilla runs Elvis Presley Enterprises from Los Angeles. Surprisingly, her office contains no mementos of her life with Elvis. In fact, no hint of Elvis at all.
It gets in the way. It gets in the way of who I am.
She has a new life with 6-year-old son Navarone and his father, Marco Garibaldi.
I have to take in consideration their feelings. I have a son who's 6 years old. I don't want him coming into my office and seeing pictures of my past.
See, so she says, and seeing pictures of my past, meaning Elvis, and also, now Yvette said something funny. He's the love of my life. Yeah. Now this is where we're catching Priscilla out, guys, because she constantly says, he's the love of my life. He's the love of my life. I still love him. Now this, which was, I don't know when this was done. I don't know what year that was. Any of you have any idea what year that was? So how old is Navarone now? We can tell from, so Navarone was 6. Let's have a, how old is Navarone now? Navarone, let's see. Does anyone know how old Navarone is? I'm just going to see if it comes up, age. So he's Garibaldi, yeah? So he is on March, so he's born in 1987. So, we can work it out, guys. He's 37 now. Yep, thank you, guys. And so we can work it out. He was 6. So it was 31 years ago. Let's put our thinking caps on. So 31 years ago. So 1993. Yeah? Do we agree with that? 31 years ago. Have I added that up right? Would that be the same son who plans on getting Priscilla's wedding picture tattooed on his leg? Tracy. So 31 years ago. We've just proved it. I love proof, guys. Let's go back to it. So 31 years ago, she refused to put Elvis's pictures up in her office. I think the office was in Graceland. She also is very proud of her husband and her new child, a 6-year-old boy, Navarone. Marco, then known as Marco Garibaldi, who was supposedly a film producer, who was an entrepreneur from Italian descent. and then it turns out that he wasn't Italian. It turns out that he was Brazilian. Yeah. So how many times have you guys said to me, seriously, how many times have you guys said to me, her story changes, her story changes? You keep saying it to me. Well, there's your proof. There's your proof, guys. So a comment just came in about Sally Hoddle. Well said. Fans should not be called haters just for having an opinion about who were in Elvis's life. I think some people were offended because she came off like she was trying to criticize people about they should and shouldn't do as far as comments about EP. Sally should not have paused her comments. It seemed like she doesn't want to hear comments that aren't in line with hers. Okay. Sorry, that's just came in then. Right. Sorry. Back to the topic. Do you know what? I'm going to make that a new thing now. If I get a comment come in off the YouTube channel, I'll quickly tell it you. It'd be like breaking news. What do you think, guys? But right, let's go back to. So let's talk about what we were talking about. So March the 7th, 1987, Diana. And then Teresa says she has no feelings. She just takes Elvis's money. And then we've got, she can't remember her own lies. That's it. And it's true, Francis. And then we've got, yeah, we remember her on Dallas. You know, come on, she's a beautiful woman. Not so much now, but she was in Dallas. She was a stunning girl. And, you know, there's a channel on here that have every single clip of Priscilla in Dallas. Every single clip. Let's have a look. I was watching bits of it the other day. And there was literally hundreds of clips. Come on, we'll do a clip just for a laugh. Come on, we're having a laugh. Right.
Wedding again? No.
Come on, this will bring back some memories.
I guess you'll start thinking about the wedding again. No. Certainly not till after my trial. Really? I thought you and Bobby were going to get married right away. He asked me, but I just can't. What if I am sent to prison? It would be terrible for him. Well, I really can't believe that you're going to be sent to prison. But I think you're holding back on marrying him is the best thing you could do. What do you mean? Think about it. You can live here at South Fork and see exactly how the Ewings operate without being locked in till death do you part. Oh, it's a rare opportunity, Jenna. You're luckier than you know. Sue Ellen, you sound so bitter. Why? Because I know what the Ewing brothers are like. Right now, you and Bobby are in love. And in that respect, life is very wonderful for you. But wait until the battle for Ewing oil starts. And believe me, it will, and it's going to be ugly. Then you're going to see a side of Bobby Ewing that you have never seen before. Well, he may be tough in business, but he won't be different toward me. You may be surprised. Wait until he starts wheeling and dealing to save his company. I guarantee you're going to be nothing but an ornament for him.
Da, da, da. Right. Have you heard? Have you heard of the program that she did called Those Amazing Animals? Have any of you heard of it? Do you remember? Any of you remember it? Hi, James, my friend. We're doing a few old clips of Priscilla. Wow, Academy Award winning. Come on, we did like Dallas. Admit it. Did we like Dallas? I think we did. Let's have a look. So, Those Amazing Animals. Let's see if it comes up. Those Amazing. Come on, I love JR. Didn't you love JR? Yeah, come on. We like Dallas. There wasn't much else to watch. How many channels were there? Even in America, there wasn't that many channels, was there, in the 80s? How many channels did you guys have? You all love Bobby. Yeah, girls? You all love Bobby. Do you agree? Bobby Ewing. So, James, only 3 channels, and we only have 3 channels. Yeah, so she wouldn't keep a picture of Elvis. She couldn't care less about the feelings when she calls Elvis the love of her life. The Bex, come on, we're catching her out, aren't we? That was a very good shot, that really showed her true colours, that one. Oh, he's the love of my life, he's the love of my life. No, 31 years ago, you were ashamed of him. You wouldn't even put his picture up in your office. And you were married to him, he's the father of your daughter. Come on. Yeah, Bobby, well fit. How can you not fancy Bobby? Does anyone remember Bobby in The Man from Atlantis? The Man from Atlantis. Right, okay, guys. Now we're doing a bit of old-fashioned. Right, does anyone remember, before I play it, does anyone remember Those Amazing Animals?
All right, Christina.
The Man from Atlantis, Who Shot JR? Come on. Great memories. Great memories. So do any of you remember Those Amazing Animals that Priscilla Presley presented? It was her first film, TV job. Before I play it, I wonder if we get the...
All right, Christina. What is 5 and 6? 11.
Let me just get her up. There we go. Here we are, guys.
Amazing animals are the beautiful, the amusing, the frightening. You'll experience it all with those amazing animals. Until next week and many more encounters.
Right, let's get Priscilla on it.
Tomorrow, see the heiress who lives with the spirits of the dead. On That's Incredible, a special request. That a beautiful woman battles shame, prison, and torture to be with the man she loves. Love's Savage Fury, the Monday night movie. Tuesday on Happy Days, Hank Aaron, a beautiful blonde, and the Fonz team up to keep Howard's business scoring. And Laverne and Shirley's dreams of heaven end up down with the devil. Now stay tuned for the final chapter, Walking Tall, next on the ABC Sunday Night Movie.
Does it bring back memories? That's got to bring it. Hi, Jean. Jean, how are you? Right, let's see if we can get her talking in it.
Animals. Good night, everybody. Good night,
Right,
everybody.
we want to see her talk. Come on, we're just having a bit of a laugh, guys. No, she's not talking in that one. Let's have a look.
More and Childers.
No, not that one. I'll try one more. Surprising how many's on there.
She's promised.
Here we go. Yes. Okay.
The award to any person or persons she feels have been unduly ugly to animals. So be kind to your pet or else.
Tonight, it is my pleasure to welcome a wonderful young lady who really has a way with animals.
She's promised to personally deliver my mascot. Here is the Goodwill Ambassador of the San Diego Zoo, Joan Embry. Here we have Sydney, and here's the Wallace, which is a member of the marsupial.
Funny. And then what, guys? While we're at it, come on, let's do a bit of Bobby Ewing, shall we? Just a bit of fun, yeah. Let's see if it comes up. The man from Atlantis. I know it's not Elvis, but come on. Let's go back in time together.
Man from Atlantis has a short-lived
Ooh, come on,
American
we want
science
more.
fiction.
We want some film of it. It's funny. I remember that. I remember it. I couldn't have been that old. I don't know what year that was. Do any of you know what year that was? Yeah, me too, dear. Do any of you remember? Here we go. Let's get it in wide format. Come on, Bobby. Interesting. It's funny because I remember, I don't know why, even though I watched that probably nearly, I would say 45 years ago, maybe a little bit more. I remember it. That's strange, isn't it? How can you remember something so well, so long ago? Crazy. Yeah, Lorna, the man from Atlantis. Hi. Those Amazing Animals, 1980, 1981. Thanks, Gene. Right, so we're doing some old clips here. It's funny. I just find it funny. I'm watching it now. I'm like, I don't know what it reminds me of being sat at home with my mum and dad. That's quite a weird feeling. Sat at home with my mum and dad. Crazy. As a little child. Right, so I'm going to play you this. Well, just so you know, guys, we've gone a bit sidetracked, but we are actually doing Elvis Girlfriends. Someone sent me a video on email. So I'm going to play the ending part of it because I thought it really describes Elvis as a person. I have watched all of it, but it
was just
right. Have any of you heard of Diane Goodman? Diane Goodman, one of Elvis's girlfriends. I don't know what year. So we've got Doreen. Hi, Doreen. Yeah, we're doing Elvis's girlfriends. We are going to do some Priscilla clips. We are. Doreen. Hi, Doreen. Yeah, I did get sidetracked. Come on, my middle name is Sidetracked. So do any of you know Diane Goodman? She is one of Elvis's girlfriends, and someone has sent me an interview. The person who sent me is Carol Hayat. So thank you, Carol. Right. Yes. Diane, do you know who it is? Do any of you know anything about her? I think they went on a one date. Well, Cheryl, we'll listen to this interview. The ending of it, she talks about Elvis quite a lot. So I think, let's just have a look. I might, where's my stand? I might put it on a stand so that I don't wobble so much. 1 second. Wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. Okay. Let's get on. I can't believe all the kids are upstairs. You turn on another light. It's getting a bit darker now, isn't it? Right. That's better. All the kids are upstairs, guys. Right, are we bright enough? Yes, that looks bright enough. I have actually brought, look at this, I've brought a special lighting thing. Let's have a look. That goes behind the camera. Let's have a look. Let's see if it works. What do you reckon, guys? Don't make any difference, does it? Let's have a look. See how the light changes? Do we have a favourite? That one. That one makes me look more tanned. Okay. So I'm going to put this on a stand. Let's just move this forward. I'm going to put it on play for you guys. Now, I don't know anything about Diane Goodman. I know nothing about her. Let's have a look at your comments. So we've got, let's be serious, very wannabe starlet trying to get her hooks into him. So Eileen detests her. She was Miss Georgia. Diane was a gate girl for a very short time. She only dated him for a very, very short time. Okay. Hi, and it looks like I'm really late. You're not late, Linda. You're not late. Don't worry. We haven't been doing it long. Right. So I'm going to press play, and it might start a bit boring, but we'll just see how it goes.
Someone to approach that way, and I was glad. You know, I was very flattered, and so he pulled out my chair, and the table was decorated. The cutlery and the flowers and candles, and it was dressed to impress. And so I thought, I guess we're going to order room service. But there was this big cart in the room, and he said, I did not know what you wanted to eat, so I just ordered one of everything, and they brought it up. And so the cart was loaded with every dish in the restaurant. Domed lids, and we had tea and water and milk. And he said, do you know what you might want? And he named off a lot of things. And I said, well, what do you want? Because I didn't want what he wanted. I wanted him to be first. And I could have gone without eating at all because I was too nervous and excited. And so he picked a chopped hamburger steak, big, with smothered in onions, and I think there were fries and bread. I picked a hamburger and fries because I thought, you know what, that's the neatest thing on this plate. There's no green on it. It's not going to be in my teeth. It's not going to be messy. And I didn't even want to eat. So I thought I can pick at these fries and kind of pretend that I'm eating. So after we ate, we went over to the sofa and sat down and just sat next to each other and talked for a time. And he talked about what was going to happen the next day, because we were already in the town where he had the show. And again, I'm not sure where that was, maybe Uniondale or somewhere. And he said, you know, since you brought your stuff, do you need anything? And I said, no, I think I have something to wear. If it's okay, you could tell me after I put it on, you know. And then he said, I brought a present for you. And I said, oh. And he took out his pocket, or on the nightstand, actually. Earlier on the plane, I had seen something in his pocket, a little box that he put in there. And then I saw it on the nightstand when I got to the table, the same little black velvet box. And so he had picked it up and brought it to the sofa, and he was holding it in his hand. And he said, I have a present for you. And he put it in my hand, and I opened it, and it was actually this ring.
This ring you have on now?
It's a diamond and sapphire.
I now. Oh, yeah.
It's a diamond and sapphire.
You've not washed it since, right?
Right.
So that's a beautiful ring to get.
He
said,
and
you already got a lot of things before you went to the dinner with him.
Mm-hmm. He said he designed this, and Lowell Hayes made it, and he had it waiting. And I guess, you know, because he didn't know until that day that I was coming. diamond, but he already had this ring ready to give me. He knew what he wanted me to have the first time that we were together.
And Elvis designed that ring himself?
That's what he said, yeah. But he designed a lot of his jewelry.
As far as I know, he didn't want people to say, thank you, Elvis, thank you so much. It was enough for him just to see you smile, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when I first opened it, I was like, I said, are those real diamonds? And he got so offended.
Right, I want to get to the...
Do you think I would give you a fake? Getting to the end, I thought, I cannot believe this. He is incredible. I already knew he was an incredible singer and seen the movies, and but I just didn't pay attention the way I did this night. So they came to get me, as promised, and took me across out into the back area.
And that was the bodyguards.
Uh-huh. Sometimes it was Ricky Stanley. It could be anybody. It wasn't
Ricky
always.
Stanley was his stepbrother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remained friends with Ricky until he died. He was a
priest, right?
Preacher.
Preacher, yeah.
Yeah, and he had some struggles, and he went through a program to get himself straightened out in a church near my house. So I saw him and talked to him several times, and we stayed in touch a lot and prayed for him. He, he had a good heart, and his daughters are, met his wife, his ex-wife.
Ricky passed away last year, right?
Yeah.
But back to the story so
they took me out.
You went away in the car, and then you got to spend time with Elvis. Were you with him on the whole tour here, or did you go back to California to continue your career a little bit? Or
we stayed.
I just want to get to the bit where she talks about him.
Books, but it was a curtained off area. It didn't have a door. It was just a curtain, so it wasn't that private, but it was sectioned off. And he had his books in there, and he asked me if I was familiar with numerology and if I believed in God, and he had the Bible in there. And I said, yeah, I was raised in a Christian home and had been to church my whole life. I didn't always follow after and have my actions were not always Christian, but I was a believer, and that was my foundation. My parents raised me that way. And so he read passages to me out of a book. It was so cool, because usually a female reads to their kids, or they might read to their husband, and they're like, don't read to me, But he read to me out of these books and pointed out I didn't understand numerology at all. I came to understand it better later as I became, older and in the church and everything. But he was fascinated by how all that fit together in the Bible and the numbers. And sometimes I guess you could be confused by some things if you read too many things that don't have a similar basis.
I think we've seen enough.
He seemed to have a hunger, the power and the inspiration that he became. And he didn't do all that just to make money.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, guys. She's a bit boring. She is a bit boring. But I had a subscriber that sent this to me, and I just thought, I'd never heard of her. I'd never heard of this woman. So I just thought, let's give it a go. But nah. Right, let's go back to what we are actually doing. We're playing old Priscilla clips, because Priscilla, at the end of the day, she was one of his girlfriends, and we're doing girlfriends at the moment. So let's go back to where we were. Right, let me just go back. Okay.
Looking back, do you think your parents should have let you go to Memphis?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because, who knows? I maybe wouldn't have been married and had the child I have. I don't think they made a mistake.
Did Elvis mention marriage when you first moved to Memphis?
He was reluctant in mentioning marriage.
When Elvis wanted entertainment, he would rent a whole movie theater or rent a playground or fly across the country for a peanut butter sandwich.
You know, things just started happening, and then it was a part of my life. If you want something, you get a plane to go get it. If you want to do something, you make arrangements and you call across the country, and it just happens. I didn't do it myself, but you had people taking care of everything for you. Nothing, I did nothing. Everything was taken care of.
See, I don't like the way that she says everything was taken care of. Like she speaks about it like she had no say in it, no say. Every decision she made, whether it be going to Graceland, how she did her hair, dressed, walked, anything that Elvis did it for her. It's just such rubbish. She's given the impression to Barbara Walters that she basically had no say in her life. It drives me potty. I'm like, why do people believe it? Why do people believe it? Right, let's have that.
On the death of Elvis, we profited. Keep up with
It hurts. I knew it would happen. I could see it coming the day that he died. You know, it was just the beginning. And it's been a lot of exploitation. And I think what hurts mostly is the people that were very close. And again, you know, it's human nature and you try to justify it, but it still hurts.
Could you tell me what you were thinking?
Let me just pause that a minute. I saw Natalie, your comment. I have to intervene now. Natalie, so I'm gonna play this on a stand so that it doesn't wobble. But I just want to say something about, like Natalie's comment said, my father would not allow me at 14 to see a 25-year-old man. I just want you to know that Elvis was not seeing Priscilla when she was 14. He was 24. It was 1959. So-called Cary Grant had brought her to Elvis's home in Germany that he rented whilst doing his service in the army. Yes, Elvis had befriended Priscilla for 8 to 10 weeks. Yeah, it was that short. They had a close connection, but they were not a couple. There was no sex. They just were close friends. Yes, Elvis poured his heart out to Priscilla, told her his problems, his worries of the future, but there was never sex. And I say this to you, Natalie, I know you're an Elvis fan. They were not lovers when she was 14. He met her for between 2 months and 10 weeks. It was towards the end of his time, his service time for the army, because he loved America, didn't he? He was proud to serve for his country. He was drafted. And then Elvis went back in 1960 to carry on his life. He was still with Anita Wood at the time. He was also seeing a secretary in the house in Germany when he met Priscilla. And please don't believe the fairy tale, the lies that are said about him. Because we're given the impression, and it's in the tabloids, it's in the magazines, it's in the documentaries, it's everywhere, that Elvis was with Priscilla from the age of 14 till the day they divorced, 1973. So it's 14 years together. This is so far from the truth. And this is why this channel is called Defending Elvis Presley. Fans want the truth. Because I will intervene. If people have got the wrong impression, I will intervene. Elvis didn't start seeing Priscilla till she was nearly 18, and there was no sex. She moved to Graceland. She stayed at Vernon's house at first when she was nearly 18. So I think it was 3 weeks before she turned 18, she moved to Graceland. She did visit 2 other times, but she was 17. There was no sex. It has always been very clear from Priscilla, there was never sex. So Elvis did not have sex with a minor. I really want you to know this. And then even when they did get married, they got married in December 1966 when she was, they got engaged when she was 21 in December 1966. And then May the 1st, 1967, when she was 3 weeks from being 22, they got married, and then they had sex that night. Obviously, they had the 9 months for the baby. Lovely Lisa Marie was born. And the other thing that a lot of people don't know is that Priscilla was unfaithful to Elvis 8 weeks after Lisa Marie was born, less than a year after the marriage. And the reason I mention that is because they only actually were together as a married couple for 4-ish years. 4-ish years. So if anyone thinks that Priscilla was with Elvis for 14 years, they are wrong. If anyone thinks that Priscilla had sex with Elvis when she was 14, it never happened. If anyone thinks that Priscilla moved to Gracelands when she was 14, it never happened. If anyone thinks that Priscilla married Elvis when she was 14, it never happened. She was nearly 22. They had sex on the night of the wedding, when 3 weeks before her 22nd birthday. So I just want to make it clear to everyone, anyone that thinks Elvis in any way was a pedo are wrong. Right, so I'm going to play a video. I'll just read your comments. Right. Okay, let's have a look. And also, the other thing I say is this. You've got to remember, it was very different times. In the 1950s and the 1960s, it was completely normal for a girl, 16, 17, 18, to marry a man in his 20s. It was completely normal. There was nothing unusual about it. It's different now. Yeah, 2024, a 25-year-old man isn't going to marry a 16-year-old girl. But my point is, in the 1950s, if you were not married by the time you were 21, you were on the shelf. You were classed as old news. Yeah, and all the girls now that are watching me now from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s that grew up through that period, they will confirm to you that you did try and get married in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. You were trying to get married, really, by the time before you were 20. Before you were 20. And I think many people on here will admit that to you. So all I'm saying is it's different times. Things have changed. Now it's different than the 1950s and 60s. That's my point. Right, let's go back a bit. Let's have a look. I'm sorry, he was 24, that's right. That's right. My father wouldn't even allow me to have friends, a grown man, when I was a teenager. No, because my point is, look, no one wants their 14-year-old daughter to be with a 24-year-old man. But this wasn't normal circumstances, because remember, he was a rock and roll star. All of the teenagers were chasing the rock and roll stars. All of them. The Beatles, obviously the Beatles was in the 60s. But my point is, it was very normal for teenagers to be chasing the rock and roll stars. So for Priscilla to be introduced at 14 to a rock and roll star, to Elvis Presley, the most famous man in the world, completely normal. Nothing abnormal about it. What was unusual, that Elvis took a liking to her and wanted to befriend her because she was an American girl in Germany that could speak English. And he felt that she listened to him. She was a good listener. And there was a connection there, but it was only for 8 weeks. It was nothing. Elvis knew he was going back to his life. He knew it. Now, do I recommend it? Of course not. But Elvis's old-fashioned upbringing, his Christian upbringing, that he will not have sex with a girl until the night of the marriage. That's what the girl he marries, he was not going to have sex with her until the night they married. Let's have a look. Where are we? So, just trying to catch up on your comments, guys. Elvis didn't want to get married, and he knew it would be a curtail in his fun, and he wasn't ready for commitment. I agree with that. Elvis wasn't ready to get married, really. Even at 67, May the 1st, 67, when he did get married, he wasn't ready for it. He definitely should not have married Priscilla. And the thing I think about Priscilla is that as soon as she had a taste of the big wide world, she wasn't ready either. I really believe that. I really think Priscilla, she wasn't ready to have a child either. I don't think she was mature enough to have Lisa Marie Presley, because she was thinking more of herself, her career, her future, money, ambition, being an actress, an entrepreneur. So it didn't really suit Priscilla to have a child. And even you think about it, she only went on to have one other child, Navarone. Yeah. I don't think Priscilla was the marrying kind. I also don't think she was the kind to have a family at home, a big family of kids at home. Priscilla wasn't a stay-home person. I really believe that. And Elvis wanted a stay-home person. He did. He was old-fashioned. He wanted the girl at home to look after the kids while he went off and made the money and had the income. I believe that about Elvis. Right, let's have a look. I agree in Germany. I also believe it was more, she was sounding bored from America. Yeah, she could speak English. He was in Germany. I will never believe he was inappropriate with an underage girl, nor do I. Linda, shall I tell you why I don't think he was ever inappropriate with an underage girl? Because no one has ever come out and said, not one person in 50 years has said, I had sex with Elvis when I was underage. Not one person. Not one. And if any of you can even think of one person, I'll disagree with you, because it's not happened. You've had girls come out and say, oh, yes, you know, he cuddled me and he would play with me and bounce on the bed and kissed me on the cheek type thing, but never sex. Never sex. Let's have a look. Lisa Marie, in my opinion, was the best thing that came out of that relationship. Yeah. Natalie, come on. We worship. Worship's the wrong word. We adore Lisa Marie Presley. Many of us here went through the 70s, some here in the 60s and 70s, but I went through the 70s and 80s loving Lisa Marie, and 90s loving Lisa Marie. We felt like we grew up with her. We felt sorry for her. She lost her father in such a public way. And we didn't even know about Scientology. Seriously, guys, how many of you guys in the 80s and 90s knew about Scientology? No one had even heard of it. So the fact that she was chucked into Scientology repulses us. Yes, there are 15, 16 trying to pass 18, 19-year-olds. Yeah. Come on, you go down the pub. Even now, you go down the pub and you got the 15, 16-year-olds all dressed up, trying to get into the nightclubs. No, he didn't. And they were virgins. He didn't even try. Now, don't forget, the men of the 1950s, 1960s, and 70s, they wanted to marry a virgin. No man wanted to sleep with a girl that had been around. It's true. How many men are on here now? How many men are here now that grew up in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s wanted a girlfriend that had slept around? Nobody. We don't want women that had a past. I'm on about my generation. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and I didn't want a girlfriend that had been around. I didn't want that. I also would say that even though Priscilla is not my cup of tea from 1945, a little bit in the 2000s before her plastic surgery, she was a beautiful. Oh, yeah. Natalie, come on. I'm a man, yeah? Priscilla is one of the sexiest, most beautiful women I've ever seen, ever. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about in the 60s, 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. She was a stunner and sexy. But yes, once the plastic surgery come along, forget it. Mike Stone, the karate champion that she ran off with, the karate instructor, he had no chance. That he was not going to say no to Priscilla. She seduced him easily. He was a typical man. She was too sexy, too good looking for him to say no. And that's why he left his wife and his kid, because temptation was too strong for him. Big mistake, because his wife was beautiful. And I don't know how many of you know that Mike Stone's wife was pregnant with a little girl. It's like so sad. 2 families broke up because Priscilla wanted to sow her oats with a man. Elvis's family was broke up and Lisa Marie was taken away. Mike Stone's family was broke up and poor little girl wasn't even born yet. And Priscilla was seeing him for a year secretly behind Elvis's back. It drives me mad, guys. Right, Linda, never heard of Scientology. Yeah, and the Scientology didn't even, no one knew about it. Right. Yeah. Gio, exactly. The Justin Bieber fans, they're all little girls, aren't they? They're all 11, 12, 13. Come on. It's completely normal for rock and roll stars to be chased around, pop stars, to be chased around by teenagers. Completely normal. Nothing, I've said many times, she was gorgeous. There is a photo from Vegas, them walking down the hall, and he's looking at her. She was beautiful. No, yeah. Come on. Almost no man was going to say no to Priscilla. And she knew it. Priscilla knew her power. And I think she had this same power over people like Jerry Schilling. Because I have well, what's the right word? I'm worried about the friendship between Jerry Schilling and Priscilla. Because after Elvis passed, there was a lot of money involved, wasn't it? Priscilla was a very powerful person. She was in charge of Graceland. Everything went through Priscilla. If you wanted to do a documentary or a biography or a movie or a TV series or be in a magazine or in a tabloid, it went through Priscilla. So anyone that was trying to make money from the Elvis name went through Priscilla, and Jerry Schilling was one of them. He was. So difficult, guys. Let's have a look. Well, I think it depends on the country. Scientology in Germany on the list of protection of it is not a church, it is a cult. Yeah. She was lovely, but man, her speaking voice would drive you to drink. Tracy, that wispy, childlike tone. You mean like Shauna's got? Shauna, she's got it. Shauna from Tenderly Loving Elvis, she's got it sussed. Prissy. She makes me laugh. Sorry. When I was 15, I was all into Take That. Yeah, come on, we love Take That. Robbie, Diana. When I DJ for 26 years, I loved playing Robbie and Take That. Loved it. You can sing me a Take That song if you want. Right, let's have a look. Right, yeah. I mean, come on. We know Priscilla couldn't act. Come on, she couldn't act. I even think business-wise, she fumbled her way through. She had a lot of help. They should never have married. I really believe that. They should never have married. Mike Stone had been married 3 times. Yeah. Come on, you guys know what I think about Mike Stone's interview. My God. That interview where he admits everything about Priscilla, I can't stand it. I hate the way he talks.
In Vegas when you went for the unveiling of Elvis's statue. It was a touching moment. It was sitting on stage, knowing what we were doing there. It didn't seem real. Looking out at the audience, seeing all the people there, and having them play his music. I can't even put it in words. It wasn't right. It was beautiful that they were presenting this statue, but it didn't feel right. Elvis wasn't there. Do you get any special feelings if you turn on your car radio or turn on your house radio and hear Elvis's music? Oh, absolutely. Because I know what was going on during all the songs that were being recorded at the time. What was said, what the feeling was toward the song, if he should do the song. So the memory of what was happening during that time comes up. And it's difficult. It's difficult listening to the records. It's difficult
your mind starts to wonder. It starts to go back, and again, you try to think, well, that's not Elvis, but you can't escape it.
I'm curious to know, did Elvis at any time sit and discuss with you his performances?
Sure. Oh, yeah. There was some he loved, some he hated, some he didn't want to do, some he had fun with, but Elvis was a perfectionist. If a performance didn't go like he wanted it, he'd be upset for days over it.
Could he accept criticism?
Not really, no. If it came from him, yes. I think he always knew what he did.
Did all of you hide, let's say, reviews?
Yes.
You hid reviews from him?
Absolutely.
Did he not ask any of you at any time? Did anybody say anything about me?
Yeah,
what would you say to him?
They were great. Wonderful reviews. They were just great. Well, they weren't the best, but hey, it's okay.
Why did Elvis surround himself with what we affectionately term the Memphis Mafia, the boys who constantly, I believe, lived with you and him what appeared to be morning, noon, and night?
He was comfortable. He was comfortable. He was secure. He knew everyone. They knew him. He was able to do what he wanted, when he wanted. Everyone understood. He could throw his temper tantrums. No one would condemn him. He was at ease. He was around people that were with him for a long period of time. Where most people have friends and may see them throughout a lifetime, here and there. Elvis liked his friends with him because then you can share and you can do and be who you want. He loved that. He loved having his family and friends around him.
Priscilla, was he not at ease meeting new people?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't comfortable having someone that he didn't know very well come in.
If you had a problem, could you sit with Elvis? Would he take the time to listen to what was aching you? And could he comfort you?
I very rarely went to him with any problems. It's a very strange relationship. It was a love, but I never wanted to upset him because he took it so hard. If I were to come to him with a problem, it would hurt him deeply. So I worked it out myself.
That must have been very tough on you.
It was tough.
That makes me laugh. I worked it out myself. Now that is the best. That is the best way anyone has ever said to me. I had an affair. I strayed. I worked it out myself. So, so someone's just messaged me about our lives. All right. Oh, someone's just sent. Diana, are you on? Diana, are you on? Someone's just sent me a clip about Scientology.
I was there when this happened with Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. We were on OT7.
Right, Diana, are you there, Diana? So Diana's just sent me this. I don't mind playing it. Diana, do you want me to play it? I don't mind. People send me stuff. It's fine. Okay.
Families, we can help get everything back together, get it all sealed, signed, delivered. I was there when this happened with Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley. We were on OT7 together, Lisa and I. And I remember when she married him, and I was like, are you kidding me? Lisa and Michael? I mean, it just was like, I don't think so. And it wasn't. It didn't last long. But for me, this is my opinion on it, but it was like, it seemed like it was sort of he was in trouble, so they were going to get married, and this was all my projection of it. I may be off, but, tell me I'm wrong. You know, to me, it seemed like it was a thing where they were like, ooh, let's get him in. We'll help Michael. That'll take the attention off of all this other stuff. And things will be great, right? And I think it's the same thing now, Tiger. They're going to be after you saying, hey, we can help you. Come on into our church, which isn't a church. They don't believe in God, really, even though they say they do. But when you get to the higher levels, no. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. The Tiger Woods thing, just to clear that up, you can laugh about it. You can say, I'm only trying to get attention. No, I'm not. That is what Scientology does. I was at Flag when Lisa Presley married Michael Jackson. And I knew what was going down there. It was like they thought if we can get him in and we can kind of help his PR, we can turn him into a Scientologist. And then now we've got Michael Jackson, right? And it's this, that's what they do. They do that. I worked at Celebrity Center. They've got long programs to get people in. So if you are a celebrity and you do hear this, realize they do actively do stuff, and it's very covert, and they're very good at what they do. So you can laugh about it, and that's what those people.
That's interesting, guys. Come on, none of us, all of us are horrified by the fact. How old was she when she went into Scientology? I think, was it 11 or 12? I think, was it Gio that told me? It was Natalie. It was odd. It was odd. It was. Did anyone think it was normal? Come on, nobody. Nobody thought that marriage was normal. Right. Let's find a couple more clips. We've been on for an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm going to go to bed soon, guys. But I still want to play some more. Come on.
Change some things.
That's right. Priscilla, sorry. The reason we're playing Priscilla, other than the fact that our subject is ex-girlfriends,
In the judge's chamber.
The reason we're playing Priscilla is because that's how we catch the lies, guys. To defend Elvis, we have to catch the lies, and she walks into them. She trips herself up with the things she says, because we'll find an interview from, say, 1990, and then we'll go 10 years forward, and she says the same thing in a different way. So we got to do it, guys. We've got to do it.
And I remember him very swollen. I looked at his hands and they were swollen.
Let me just start again. This is the divorce. She's talking about
judge's chambers.
The day of the divorce, okay?
And I remember him very swollen. I looked at his hands and they were puffy and swollen. And I looked at his face, and his face was all very puffy. And he was dating Linda at the time, Linda Thompson. And I would look at him, and I was rubbing his hands and asking him, was she taking good care of him? You know, does she know how to take good care of him? Because I knew what it would take for Elvis. You had to nurture him and baby him and just know, you know, what to do for him. You had to mother him. And I remember being very tearful that he was being taken care of and he was okay. And we'd have a, you know, baby talk. We would talk all the time. And the judge is sitting right in front of us. And he said, I've never seen a divorce like this. This is unbelievable. Are you sure you two want a divorce? Because it was a lot of care and a lot of love. And it was a very difficult time for both of us. First, we went in the judge's chambers.
See, and when I see Priscilla talking about Elvis, and she talks about his puffiness and his puffy hands, and they were close, yeah. She never says that he was unwell. She never says about his medical conditions. Surely she must have known. Surely. Elvis was chronically unwell for many years before the public found out. And obviously colon problems, constipation problems, he had breathing problems, he had liver problems, he had high blood pressure, glaucoma, he had just so many different conditions. She never says he was unwell. The reason he was puffy, in my opinion, and his face was puffy was because he was taking so much medication that he was his body was reacting to it. And I think the less you say, the more you think that he had a problem with drugs. This is what bothers me. If Priscilla doesn't say, did you know, by the way, did you know Elvis was unwell? Did you know Elvis had some chronic medical problems? Because she leaves that out, you just assume he's a druggie. I think you do. The general public, they're watching Priscilla's interviews. Many times she has said, she's brought up the pills. Many times, but never the fact that he was chronically unwell, that he was a sick man. He was very ill. And that bothers me. She should say Elvis in his late 30s started to become very unwell, needed a full-time nurse, needed a full-time doctor. That's why he was taking so much medication. That is what we want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Not, oh, he wanted to get stoned, he wanted to get off his face. Because I don't believe he did. I really don't believe he did. Right, guys, I'm going to have to go. The kids are calling me. I can hear them shouting me. So we're going to end it at that. We're going to come back. We're going to do some more ex-girlfriends. There's more to do about Priscilla, sorry to say. But we need to milk the cow with Priscilla. We need to get all the juice out. We need to pick out those lies. Pick. Because that's why we're called Defending Elvis Presley Fans Want the Truth. We're going to do it by digging and digging. Because we are not having it. We, as Team Elvis, are not having it. We're going to keep finding juicy bits. And I love it when you guys send things to me. Keep sending me stuff. Because what I've noticed lately is I've started posting the things you're sending me. So you guys are picking the topics now. You're going, like Diane just did it just then. She sent me a clip of Scientology. And then we had Carol sent me that ex-girlfriend that I've never heard of. Yeah? So please keep sending me stuff. And the way you can send me things is on Facebook. So the Facebook name is Defending Elvis Presley, Louis Daily Live Streams. Defending Elvis Presley's Louis Daily Live Stream. Or you can friend request me. I'll put my name. You can friend request me. There's my name. And I'll accept you. And then you can send me these things. I'm getting a lot of people sending me stuff now, guys. And I tell you what, it makes a big difference. And I thank you. All of you guys sending me stuff, thank you. I really want it. I'm really absorbing your information. It's great for me. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to go. We've been on 1 hour and 15 minutes. We've done all right, haven't we? I think we've done today. I think we managed to do, did we do 3 or 4 lives? Definitely at least 3. And I really enjoyed the lives today. They've been really, really good. One of my favorite days for lives. Thanks, guys. Good night, everyone. I'm here in the morning. I'm back. We're going to think of more topics. The stuff you send me is going to decide what we do tomorrow. We're always defending Elvis. It's Team Elvis taking care of business. And if any of you guys want to join Team Elvis that are watching now, just subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can, with us together, we can defend Elvis Presley because he deserves it because he can't defend himself. I always say that, guys. There's 40 people watching, plus the subscribers and members. Elvis can't defend himself. The only people that are going to defend Elvis are us, Team Elvis, the Elvis channels, the Elvis fans that go on all the different channels like Presley Mania, Tenderly Loving Elvis, like Rare Elvis Photos. Together, we create a movement that is going to grow and grow. And who knows, one day we may be sat across from the table from Priscilla herself asking these questions. Who knows? One day we might be sat across the table questioning Piers Morgan. This is our goal. And this is when we make a difference. We can do this as a movement together. All of us. Team Elvis taking care of business. Thanks, guys. We're going. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams to all of you. Sweet dreams, guys. Take care. Love you all.